Hey guys, Bobby Bollinger here. Today I'll be giving you an overview of the AFCs. Now, what I'm going to do in overviews is basically go over a division of football through all four teams in it, tell you what I think the team's quality is, what they are, their strengths, weaknesses, if they're going to get to the playoffs or not, stuff along that nature. Now, let's start in the AFC East, where the defense is heavy. Miami Dolphins. This is a really good team. Now, they do have their problems, but problem one. They're 0-2 starting out the season. Now, that sounds like they're really, really bad. But let's remember, they played the Seahawks and the Patriots. That's a pretty tough start for your season, don't you think? Yeah, it is. And they only lost those games by like a few points. Now, the Patriots, it's arguable whether or not that would have been close had they not hurt Jimmy Garoppolo. But, they were able to come back against that same exact defense, so the Dolphins do have a lot of potential in them. Another thing to note, this is the second game in a row where the Dolphins have hurt the Patriots quarterback. I don't know why they're so good at it, but keep it up. That's what I gotta say here. Keep it up. Yeah. Now, what I think the Dolphins' strength, obviously, is their defense. It is a very, very powerful defense. And their weakness, of course, is their offense. Now, I think the problem with their offense is that it's just too conservative throughout the game. They started catching up to the Patriots because they stopped playing so flipping conservatively. So I think if they just take a few more chances, their offense can do well enough for their defense to help give them the win. As for making the playoffs, well, they're starting 0-2, which is a bad sign. They have 2 more games against the Jets, which is a bad sign. Another game against the Patriots, which is a bad sign. And 2 games against the Bills, which may be a bad sign, maybe a good sign. We don't know at this point. I think if they can overcome those hurdles, the Dolphins can make the playoffs. But I think this year they miss the playoffs. There's always next year, guys. The Buffalo Bills. Well. Poor Bills. Their secondary is good. With the quotation marks being for they're good at breaking up passes, they're fast. But if the person catches the ball, they're just going to overpower the secondary without any real problems. That's the Bills' defense's main issue. Otherwise, it's a really good defense, and it is a really good defense. The problem is their offense. It's mainly their quarterback, honestly. Now, yes, he has great legs. And yes, he has a great lawn ball. But it would help if he could throw a short and mid-range pass correctly. Those are things he just does not do well. And that just murders them. That is their offense's biggest problem, hands down. The Bills, they have to adjust to a new offensive coordinator. So their offense is going to get off to a slow start still. Maybe it's a better system, but it'll start off slow to begin with. So I don't think there's any way in hell the Bills are going to the playoffs this year. No way in hell. New York Jets. These guys are probably going to the playoffs, probably as a wild card. This is a very, very solid team. Like, against the Bengals, even though it's week 1, they did happen to sack the quarterback 7 times. That's insane for a defense. Like, if you do that in a game, you usually end up the winner. Now, they didn't, but they put up 7 sacks up against a pretty powerful team. And their offense isn't performing very bad either. Better than last year. Weaknesses? At some point they have to go up against the Patriots, who they actually were able to defeat last year. So, like, I say they go in probably as a wild card. If they beat the Patriots at the right spots, they might be able to force the Patriots to have the wild card, which would be a big surprise. I think the Jets go to the playoffs as a wild card. How far they go in, I would not be surprised to see them go to the Super Bowl. Like, if they ever face off against the Patriots, then the Patriots are probably going to be knocked out of the playoffs. Any other team the Patriots could probably beat, but a divisional rival against the Jets, not going to happen in the playoffs. So if the Jets can go up, if the Jets can survive to the AFC Championship, where they'll maybe meet the Patriots, they're probably going to go to the Super Bowl, may even win it, but, you know, they could just be one and done in the playoffs as well. Anyway, we've stalled on the great Jets for long enough. Ugh. Oh, man. I'm gonna have to stop picking against these guys. Like, what is it about them? Like, this team's probably going to the Super Bowl. Like, if they avoid the Jets in the playoffs, they're going to the Super Bowl. Oy, oy, oy. I hate the Patriots. They do way too much cheating for me to respect them. But I will admit that they are a very, 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 very good team. The defense has been great. The offense somehow has been great as well. I'm not sure how. I mean, I'm not sure how they can be so good on both sides of the balls and still manage to pay everyone. Like, are you holding their families hostage? Is that why they're not asking for huge raises? Like, I swear, they are holding families hostage or something in order to keep people around. I mean, I hate this team, but they're definitely going to the playoffs. And if they can avoid the Jets, they'll definitely be going to the Super Bowl. Where they may or may not win, it depends on if they face the Cardinals or not. The AFC East is a very powerful division. We have three teams that could make the playoffs in it, which is a lot more than basically everyone else. So that's what I think of the AFC East. Join me next time for the next division, whatever I decide that to be. Leave what you think about these teams down in the comment section. G'day.